Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go to the military map first and later on we're gonna touch some of the news and events. The hotspot for now is still the eastern part of Ukraine, and Russia pushes towards Donetsk area that is still controlled by Ukrainian forces. And today there was some fighting near to Marinka, Pisky and Avdiivka. Recently it was reported around a couple of hours ago that Russia has some success near to Avdiivka, and before they got success taking Pisky, after they took part of the Pisky, for now it's just a part of the town, they thrown their forces all across the front line. So you can see the gray area is here, it means the fighting is ongoing, and we have the strong defense lines from the Ukrainian side. So let me draw you just as example over here. We have this kind of defense line all across the front lines, and Russia tries to break through it. They can break through the Pisky, they can break through Avdiivka, but because they had success in Pisky, they start their secondary attacks along the front line in parallel to defense lines, reinforcing their main attacks, for example in Avdiivka and also that way to Marinka direction. Still, Ukraine handles it and Russia is unable to break through the defense lines of Ukrainian armed forces, and I do not expect that they're gonna break through in a nearby future without significant reinforcements of the Russian forces. So they need new men there because they're losing around 500 men per day, and we can see the huge jump in statistics for the losses of Russia. That is because they are pushing to the most defended side of the front lines. This part, my friends, is the most defended. From Donetsk region, let's go to the north to Bakhmut. The situation there is very difficult for Ukrainian forces. However, we were able to destroy Russian local command and also Wagner group command in the area. So Russia is not trying their attacks in the region any longer. It's as I predicted. However, Ukrainian forces are not on counterattack. However, I was reporting that just recently it was probably not successful or was not shown on the chart. So I expect Ukrainian counterattack happened over here in Bakhmutske, and still this map shows that this part still controls by Russian forces. As for Izum direction, my friends, Ukraine did successful counterattack well before, around 2 weeks ago we started it from this direction, and Russia pushes a little bit to Davydov over here. So the situation more or less stands still in this territory, and let's go to the Kharkiv region. So this is the Kharkiv region and Kharkiv city itself, and just recently I got the information 1 hour ago that city was under attack by Russian artillery. Artillery is very close. This is the front line. Just want to show you. From Saltivka area, it's around 13 kilometers, so every artillery, rocket type of artillery, standard one, can reach the Kharkiv city. That's what they're doing, my friends. They're constantly bombing civilian objects in Kharkiv. That's what they've done to Mariupol, destroying the city, but Kharkiv is really big, so they cannot destroy the city easily, but they're trying to do it. And just recently, Russia pushes towards Rutishivka area. They tried to do it at least a couple of days ago, and today Ukrainian forces were able to throw them back from this village. As for the rest parts of the front lines, there is no major change, and let me turn on the satellite fire indication. So we have wildfires over here and there on the Ukrainian controlled territory, and not only, and those fires are across the front lines, could be fires from the Russian artillery over here. I think it was. The situation near to Slaviansk and Kramatorsk is without changes, and now, my friends, let's go to some of the news and events. So this is Kharkiv right now. It was under attack, civilian building just devastated. We don't know about the casualties, but there are many firefighting brigades and many ambulances trying to handle the situation. But it's the constant stuff there in Kharkiv. This is the picture of the Russian logistics nightmare. They have to take tanks from Buryatia Republic, which is the part of Russia this time, and they are in lack of resources. They're losing lots of tanks and armored vehicles. That is why they have to put tanks on a railroad all across the Asia, I would say, the Central Asia at least, from Buryatia all the way to Ukraine. It means they are in lack of resources for this war, and they desperately try to negotiate and freeze the current war state here in Ukraine with all of the occupied territories they able to get. And soon there's going to be a big meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and President Zelensky and Antonio Guterres, the Secretary of United Nations. I think they're gonna push Zelensky for that peaceful negotiations, but my friends, we need Ukraine to be freed from Russians. Yeah, obviously not Russians, but the Russian army. It seems like it was the big boom in Gorlivka. Let me show you on the map where it is. So this is the eastern part of Ukraine, Donetsk city, and just on the north we have Gorlivka, which is also a big industrial city. So somewhere there it was some sort of the ammunition depot or Russian command center that was destroyed today. Once again, we don't know where was the particular place of that explosion so far. And this is the result of the Heimer job in Nova Kakhovka. Just to remind you, there is a dam that connects the Dnieper River shores, and here you can see the total devastation that Heimer's rocket may bring to any kind of the object, building, etc. So we don't know what actually was there, but clearly it is the Russian-controlled territory. And as you saw, there are many military vehicles, at least they used to be them, and now it's just a scrapyard and buildings were destroyed. It's the military part of the Russian-controlled territory for sure, so no civilians were there. Yeah, it was a lucky strike indeed. I think Russians should give up smoking. Yesterday night, Turkey started its military operation. Yes, quite famous expression nowadays, but literally, my friends, it's the war. I call this, it is not a conflict, but the war. The war is what is happening. Then one army enters to other countries, so it's normal to call it war. So the war isn't going there in Syria, they entered Syria, the war isn't going in Ukraine and in many countries across the globe, and I hope that finally we'll live in a peaceful world, but I think it's not gonna happen nearby soon. Let me show you why do I think that Russian army is exhausted. Here on the picture you can see the front line. Actually there are two lines, one is red and the other one is black. So black is 1 month ago and the red one is the new front line. So definitely, as you can see, the changes are so minor that you can hardly see them on this map of Ukraine. It means that Russia cannot attack successfully and they don't have resources for it. And because of that, there are just two ways out from this war. First one, Ukraine counterattacks on the most parts of the front lines, driving Russians away from its territory. Second variant, the peaceful negotiations. That is what Russia wants. In that case, they will secure the most part of the occupied territories, putting the puppet governments on that ones. In that case, Russia will have a break up to 5 years, gaining enough forces for the second attempt of getting Ukraine and Kyiv under its control. Taking all of Ukraine is the strategic goal for Russia. They will not turn from this way. That is why the only way acceptable for Ukrainian people is to fight for our freedom. So variant number one is the best choice. Russians should leave Ukrainian territory, or we're gonna force them to leave it. And there is also the possibility for the peace talks, but in that case, I would say it's mostly the capitulation of Ukraine in that case, because after all, Russia obviously will try to take all of Ukraine. That's my opinion. Right guys, about those awesome ATACMS long-range tactical ballistic rockets that we asked to be delivered for Ukraine. Today the Minister of Defense Reznikov said that we don't have those in Ukrainian army so far, but we requested the order for those rockets, and so far we don't know when United States of America will send those awesome, fantastic rockets to Ukraine. And that is why I don't think that the Saki air base was destroyed because we used ATACMS. Probably we used something else, and so far I don't know what. And few words about Crimea. Recently it was the major attack on ammunition depot on the northern part of Crimea near to Jankoy city of Mayska village, and still so far we have reports of the fire in that particular place. It means that Russia stored lots of ammunition and rocket systems in that place. And about the Kerch Bridge, it was closed for the last night, so it was open this morning. And we have some of the rumors that Russia evacuated their puppet government that they put in Crimea. Also, the chief commander admiral of the Russian Black Fleet was dismissed, and guess why? My friends, I'm really impressed how Ukrainians fight during this war against overwhelmingly prevailing enemy as Russia, so it should be like the second army in the world, but still it's quite hard for us to fight against Russians, and I try to speak not only about our wins but also about the bad stuff that happening during this war. And just recently I got the information that Zhytomyr airfield, I think it's Ozerny airfield here, was under attack by the Russian missiles, and we lost few of the ammunitions there. I don't know whether we lost airplanes or not, but few days ago, I think 2 days ago, this airfield was under attack. I hope everyone was okay there. And my friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on the situation here in Ukraine. And if you like what I do, just press the like button. And also there are many ways how you can support my channel. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal or Donatello. All the links in video description, so please check them out. For those of you who support me, my friends, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, and as always, I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.